We're doing this today. So a couple of weeks ago, I told you that my GX is broken, and it's probably this thing. I'll show it to you here in a second. But it has thrown a engine light, a traction control light, and a 4 low that is flashing. Luckily, and I'm surprised it didn't do this because most Toyotas, when you get all of those things, will go into limp mode. Mine did not go into limp mode, but this is my wife's car. It is our primary family vehicle as well, so I've got to get it working. That's why we have the part. So I'll show you the pump real quick. I think based off of the code, it is gonna be this right here. It's a secondary air injection pump. It drives part of the air injection system on startup, and if that pump fails, or if one of the sensors is faulty, then you get the codes that I mentioned earlier. It was a P106B. I went to AutoZone and took a look at the code, and that's what they told me it was. So we have a pump. I'm gonna start there, because that seems to be the main thing that happens. There is a filter in the top that I will take off and show you guys here shortly, but that filter will over time disintegrate and clog up the system. So hopefully it's just a pump. If not, we're gonna be going further and doing sensors. But I looked up on AllData with a friend of mine what the recommended repair was, and the pump replacement was the only option they recommended. A couple 12mm bolts, a couple clamps, and that's it. So we'll get right into it. I'll move the camera over here where you guys can see, and we're gonna do this together. First thing you're gonna need is probably gonna be a 12mm extension. I did put 2 extensions on here because it's pretty far down. I mean, that just barely reaches the bolts. This is plenty. One more in the back. I dropped one. All right, I got it. Another thing to mention about this repair in particular, like I said, it does have a filter in here that can disintegrate and clog up. There is a super simple $20 fix that I did not know about that should have been a preventative maintenance item on my list. But you can change this pop filter on the outside to a regular air filter, remove the filter on the inside, and you no longer have that issue. So probably highly recommend doing that if it prevents this issue I'm doing right now, because $20 versus maybe 500 bucks for this pump or $600 for this pump, depending on where you're at, makes a lot of sense. So some needle nose for a couple of clamps. Just one clamp on that end, one clamp on this end, one connector, and then it's out. And that is the system we've got to replace. I'm gonna get this top off so we can take a look at that filter before we throw the new pump in, and then I don't know for sure if the new pump came with the bracket. I may have to, unfortunately, change that bracket over. And for anybody wondering, that is a star bit, but I am gonna use an Allen wrench. This 7/32 Allen works just fine. I lied, T20 is the way to go. I'm still messing with it with the Allen, and it's trying to strip the bolts out, so we're not gonna risk that. You can't make this up. So there's no filter. Like I said, there's supposed to be a filter, but I got it open. There's one bolt on the top. I took the other bolts to look in the pump and see if I'm just stupid and missed something, but somebody has taken the filter out as a preventative measure, but now there's no filter. So I am hoping that that just means debris got in the pump and killed the pump, but that worries me about stuff getting in the actual air injection system, like moisture. So wish me luck. This is not gonna be a lot harder than this pump. I'm gonna put the other one in. We're gonna hope for the best and go from there. Why are people so weird? I don't understand. Okay, anyways, moving on. So again, here is the new to me used pump. It was a nice little eBay order, and I assume a junkyard, this wrecking company. Probably had a wrecked unit that was similar to mine. Does offer a 1-year warranty with free returns. They did free shipping. It was 150 bucks to get shipped over from California to Mississippi, which is excellent. It's a lot cheaper, and I wanted to try the cheaper part in case something like what just happened happens, and it may not be the right thing. Yep, shout out to J&J Auto Wrecking out of California for sending me a wonderfully packaged unit. They even got the VIN and everything that the vehicle was from, so pretty great. We're gonna try it out, and I am gonna go ahead and order that filter that I mentioned is preventative for this one as soon as I get this installed to see if it works. So my luck with vehicles lately has been entertaining, to say the least. With both of my Lexuses, giving me a little bit of a headache. The heat on the LS and the GX. First real issue I've had with either of these vehicles. And then somebody smashing my mirror on my Jetta the other day at Walmart. It's been a fun time. I've got a lot of parts ordered that I wasn't planning to order, and they're not as fun as ordering the actual fun parts. I'm being super careful on this too, because there are hoses and wires and everything. It did come with the bracket too, so that's great. I don't have to somehow Frankenstein the brackets together. And there we go. Much cleaner than mine that I currently have. They did cap the hose system. It looks newer than mine, which is great, even though the car is a year older. I think the other one was a 2011, or at least that's what the package said. And yes, there is a little bit of debris in here I'm going to go ahead and clean out. But that is what the inside's supposed to look like. And there is your filter that's supposed to be installed handy dandy right here. Probably why I'm having this issue. I'm going to get this installed, and then we're going to start it back up. So 3 bolts, 1 hose. I'm going to check the inside of the hose. 3 bolts, 1 hose, and 1 plug-in, and hopefully the light has gone away. So having stuff like this that is actually wrenchable, that you can get in with little to no mechanical knowledge, just a couple of YouTube searches, and do it yourself, is so refreshing about older vehicles for me. Like, I do automotive service every day, and there's so many things that are so complex and impossible for the owner to do because it has to go to the dealer for programming. And this is such a nice thing. I probably will have to have the code flashed if this fixes, but I mean, still, that's way better than having to take it to the dealer to have them program this stupid pump that literally just plugs in. So here is the hose that goes from the actual pump to the system that's right on the front of the engine. The pump is in the right spot. You have 3 bolts that connect it to the actual frame of the vehicle, and then you have 1 connector here that connects to this. These will get water damage and corrosion, so I'm hoping that it was also possibly a bad connector and not this end of the connector, although it looks pretty clean. I would hate to have to replace that because that does go up under the airbox and all the way back. I should have put this on before I moved it into the engine bay. It would have been a lot simpler. So if you're doing it yourself, you know to do it. Let's get this all hooked up. That's clamped in good. Bolts, and let's do it. Start it up, please. I hope this fixes it. Again, it was the only repair listed on all data. It was the only recommended repair, that it's either this connector or it's that filter that fouls this pump. So we're gonna start it up, take you with me, if that fixes it. Survey says, well, it starts. I still have codes. So yeah, that's the 3 codes. We had check engine light, flashing 4, traction off. I may have to very well get that flashed from either the dealer or from one of my mechanics that's a friend of mine, and see if that actually fixed the issue. It did list it as a permanent code, so it may be something I have to take it to the dealer to verify and make sure. I may see if Toyota can do it for me here locally, because the closest Lexus is about an hour away. But we're gonna try. It wasn't necessarily the result I hoped for, but at least you know how to do that install and you are able to see it. That is the most common issue that happens with this car. It's super preventative if you change the filter early on. And obviously that person that did mine started, but just didn't do the actual thing. There's no filter. So the filter very well could have just went and gone through the pump itself and messed the pump up. So it's a possibility. We're gonna rock out with what we have now, and hopefully I'll have an update for you, but that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.